Oh, the clock does strike, does it not? So if we'd stayed, I wonder what our lives would be like. This girl riding by on the bicycle, a little younger than what Emily is now. I'm in Ojai, California, where we lived before we went to Japan. My wife and I were, and our daughter, we're quite settled here. Let me have my pizza. We were in the, hi Cal. It was a good day. It was, we'd come here in the dot-com boom. You know, we made all that money. We bought a big, beautiful house over there on Los Encinos Road. You know, the kind of place you only dream of. Dreams come true. And bought everything we could possibly imagine. You know, the cars, brand new furniture. Just so much. I could go on and on. It's boring. You know, you get the idea, I think, right? You know, that life suddenly realized, come to fruition of some sort at the young old age of, what must we have been, 35-ish, something like that. And this is a beautiful place. And I'm here because that little park there was instrumental in those early years. Emily was born here, actually in Santa Barbara, but we brought her home here. And we used to take her there to play all the time. She was born in 2000, and we left here in 2003. So Emily grew to be 3 while we were here before we went to Japan. And I'm here tonight just because I'm alone. You know, working in Ventura, which is down the road. And in the evenings, which they're less busy now than they were before. I have less to do. So I wander around. Yeah, I go swim in the ocean, or I ride my motorcycle up to Carpinteria, or come out here. So I have a question I was asking myself as I was here tonight, which is, what if we had stayed? What if we had never left this place? It's really quite nice. Look at these trees. Look at that park. It's a really nice little main street right over there with lots of restaurants and shops and boutiques and lots of fashionable industry. Like a hippie t-shirt shop would be industry here. Yeah, it is quite tranquil, as I just saw a comment go by. But I'll tell you, neither my wife nor I were very happy here. Yumiko wasn't happy here because it was so remote. I know it doesn't feel remote from our standards, you know, American standards. It's just, you know, a dozen miles away from Ventura, which to a Japanese might also feel remote, but it's not very urban. And she felt disconnected here. We'd come away from Santa Barbara, kind of on a whim, my whim, and she was disconnected in a way. So she wasn't happy here for practical reasons. You know, with a small child, home alone, she was during the day, not really connected to anybody. And in hindsight, it's so clear and so obvious now, right? I wasn't happy here because I was still at a restless period of life, and we'd been in Santa Barbara for, at that point, for 10 years, I think, something like that, since 92 to 11 years. And that's quite enough of one place for me, and quite enough of one place for Yumiko as well. So we were due to shake things up, and we had bags full of money and apparent freedom, and we thought the sky was anything we want, right? Life was our own. Life was ours. So we sold the house, and you know the story if you followed me, and we sold the house and wound up in Japan and left all this behind. Trevor asked how old I am. I'm 57 years old now. Feeling every year of it. But I can't help but wonder, what if we had stayed? What if we had stayed? Well, just what the heck would life be like if we had stayed here? The house would be paid off long ago. I just know I could just cut to the chase. I don't want to say it though. I don't want to say it. It just doesn't sound good. I don't know. I'm very fulfilled in life at this point. Let me take it from that angle. I'm ready to die, basically. I don't feel like there's anything, I mean, I want to go on living, but I mean, I've had a good life. It's been a fun run. I've pretty much done everything that I wanted to do. I'm okay if I go, right? It's like, that's how I feel. If I'd stayed here, I don't think that would be the case. I think I would still be, whatever it was that I wanted to leave to go find, I'd still want to be doing that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I would have found something, but I don't think so. I think it took the wholesale uprooting of life to start over again in a new place, namely Japan, to have that experience there, to explore and become softypapa, and the abandoned Japan thing, and the whole experience with the Japanese family over there, and then to uproot that life and then come back over here and start over again. It was 14 months alone before bringing my family over, and then the 5-6 years of establishing myself, bringing my career up out of scratch and starting that again, and then jump starting that again to do this again, at the city of Ventura, and who knows what now. I think that was a good path. I know it was a good path. I have no regrets of those lines, but still, such a lovely place. Let's see if there's any comments, and then I'll see if there's anything I need to talk about from my little black book. Missy says, "Hi Kurt, glad you're looking well. Thank you." Reese says, "It's been some time since I last joined a stream of yours. I went to my father's funeral yesterday. Just live life in such a way without regrets." Reese, I'm so sorry to hear that your father passed. Wow, that's heavy. I remember going to my father's funeral in 1992. I wish I had better words. Yeah, what was it, that last bit you said? Words of wisdom. Just live life in such a way without regrets. Thank you. Good luck to you. Would have had regrets and wondered what if I left. Wait, so Gig says, would have had regrets and wondered what if I left. Whoa, would have wondered what if I left. Yeah, bingo, I think you nailed it. I got it now. Would have had regrets and wondered what if I left. Yeah, because it isn't usually the things that you do in life that you regret, it's the things that you didn't do, right? Miko and I, pardon me, bad manners. I'm going to go ahead and eat a slice of my pizza. Ooh, that's a good looking pizza. I'm usually not eating this kind of stuff, but I was trying to go economical tonight. I thought, I'll get a pizza. That'll be nice and cheap. $20 later. It's Ojai after all. So, man, can you imagine that? Imagine if we'd stayed. Okay, I'm gonna hold off. I'm not gonna live that life I want to live. I'm gonna settle down. First I'll pay off the house. I'll get that nest egg nice and big, and then I'll get to the age where I can retire, and then I'll have some fun. I don't know about others. I think that would have been a dead end path for me. Old, scared, weak, frail, anxious. Yeah, that's me. And that's after all the adventure. Imagine what I would be if I hadn't done it. I don't think I'd be prone to take risks anymore. And I wouldn't know how. I might have a memory of a dream, but I'd be too scared. The path of wildness would not be easy to find at this point. The path of wildness would have been a juncture way in the past that I did forego, so as not to take any risks. I just couldn't get it back. Trevor says Emily would have missed out on Japan as well. Yeah. Missy says, usually pepperoni makes the pizza really greasy, and I don't like that. But when the pepperoni is well done, crispy looking, it is so good. And of course, less greasy, yeah. This one's a bit greasy, but not too bad. Pepperoni's good. They did a good job. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. No, Gig's asking, would softypapa have existed if you stayed? No way. Something else might have happened, but there would have been no softypapa. I just can't think of what the hell I would have done. You know, Japan was a catalyst to draw out whatever became softypapa. Sorry to speak so much of myself, but it really was. You know, I mean, it's like this amazing, fascinating place that you don't need to have anything inherently a part of you. You can just turn it on and, you know, leverage that, right? Well, look at the waterfall, look at the shrine, look at the ginger, right? And then slowly, with practice, you start to find your rhythm, and hey, and you become a part of that. That's what happened to me. I can't possibly imagine having done that with, hey, look at the oak tree. You know, it wouldn't have happened. And I did try. Let's see, was there another comment there? Let's see if there's anything in the black book that needs to be talked about. Oh, repeating myself. Yeah, let's cross that one off the list. I'll talk about that. You know, another sign of getting old. I'm catching myself telling stories over and over. I tell them again, and then again. Here we go. Another one is Life and a Glass of Wine. Oh yeah, there was in the book that I'm reading, this one right here, In Solitude by Michel de Montaigu. I think, did I pronounce it right for once? He tells the story of a king who's asked about his plans for life, and he says, well, first I'm going to conquer this city, and then I'm going to conquer that nation, and then I'm going to create an empire. And then he says, what are you going to do after that? Well, after that I'm going to have a glass of wine. And so the question then follows is, well, why don't you just skip the conquering the city and then the conquering the nation and establishing the empire and just have the glass of wine? In a way, that's a very stoic a premise to follow, and so I've been thinking about that, you know, but I can't do it because you need to be able to do some conquering in order to have the resources to enjoy the glass of wine. So there's that. Oh yeah, the next one is how the wisdom of others becomes ours. Another one from Montague. He describes repeatedly how he has a terrible memory, and how he shamelessly acknowledges, not shamelessly, he honestly acknowledges, hi, that he, little boy signaling hi, he acknowledges that he has borrowed so many of his ideas from the ancients, right? Seneca, Lucretius, Diogenes, just on, and he had written them in the rafters of his study. And what I was thinking about in that regard was that, and what he said even is that, and my wife's just texting me, "You're in Ojai right now?" yes, I'm in Ojai. So the thing was that he acknowledges that these ideas, he experiences these ideas, and then they get digested and then they come out, and that he's really just become a catalyst for these things, and he realizes so few of them are his own. Nonetheless, he was ranked as a philosopher of his own right. And I wonder about the same thing myself. I read of Emerson and Thoreau and all the likes and all the aforementioned, and it's so hard not to leverage their ideas without citing them. But sometimes it just sneaks in. And at what point does it become recycled? You know, recycled ideas that become our own by virtue of our own linguistics and formulations. Well, I think with that I'll stop, and I rudely ate one piece of pizza. I'll go ahead and finish the rest, and I'll respond to my wife. She's like, because I sent her a picture of Bonnie Lou's, a restaurant just over here that has really, we used to go there with breakfast with Emily, and it's still there. So I sent Emily a picture. I'll maybe send her. Well, I already did. So I'll sign up. Take care, everybody. Remember, the path of wildness. It's easy to find. The course of a stream, leaves blown in the wind, and the direction of our first inclination. And you know, there's no chance in heck that I would have come up with that if I'd stayed here. The path of wildness would have been impossible to find. So I guess I've answered my own question. Take care, everybody. Make it a good evening. or day or whatever it is.